All right, we're down here in South Carolina at Santee Cooper, one of the lakes I'm going to be fishing next year for the Bass Pro Tour. Never been before, so I want to go out here, kind of learn how to get around. Today I'm spending part of the day on Moultrie. That's the southern lake of the two, if I remember correct. And then I'm going to run over to Z-Man. They're not far from here, so I'm going to go talk to them, hang out, see what they got going on. But I'm going to show you today on the water, everything we got going. So you see we got the boat and the ramp just launched. We're at I don't know the name of this ramp, but on the southern end of it down towards the dam is the new Bass Cat Puma. I'll have a full walkthrough of that here before too long, but let's go see what we can find. I'm going to show you everything. Hopefully we come across some good stuff for when I come back here in late February. Gotta say, I'm fairly impressed. This place is rolling pretty good already. Look at that. Ooh, up and down we go. Doing some idling, we got some points, look at some side scan stuff. Not a whole lot right here, but we're gonna keep picking away. Once I get to an area that's a little more protected, less windy, I'll go into some details. We're out here. It is a stilp field, but it's cool. There's a bunch of eelgrass in there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Trying to learn about how to get around this thing. I'm at the hatchery now. Coming in from, I guess this would be, I don't know what this would be, the south side of it. But I haven't quite figured out how to get all the way back in there. I think I gotta go try another spot, but I am trolling now. There's stumps everywhere. There's a bunch that are just underneath the surface that you can't even see. So this will be valuable. This is what I came down here for. I wanted to learn how to get around, where some grass was growing, where the stumps were, where I can get in and out. The water is about a foot low as well, so that's going to impact, I believe, what we're going to be doing here when we get here in February if the water comes back up. So I'm going to keep plugging away. I'll show you guys some more stuff later. But so far I like this. I think it's gonna be a chatterbait kind of place, and I can always get down with that. Big stump. Gator just jumped in. Just gonna try to get a video of it for you, but maybe I'll see another one. All right, so we're out here, we're idling around. We're outside the hatchery right now. Looking, you can see I got a little bit of a couple spots with some stumps. Got a giant one out there. Trying to just kind of keep moseying around. You can see there's some fish down there on the bottom. On the 2D, you can see them over there on this. I'm sorry, this is the 2D. That one's on the down scan. You can see some stumps that are out there on the edges. So I'm just kind of idling around, trying to figure out where I think these fish are going to be setting up. I know they spawn over there, so I'm assuming they're going to be coming in, following these little points, these little edges, kind of using them as a stopping spot. So if I can find a couple stumps that maybe will be holding those fish, that's going to be where I can catch those bags. We're here, like I said, the end of February, so depending on the water temp and what the current day and week and leading up to it, the weather, it's going to be a big difference. Are they in 10 foot or are they going to be in 3 foot? So I'm going to keep working my way around. You see it's kind of laid down a little bit. It was blowing pretty good earlier, but I'm just gonna keep looking, staring at these, trying to find my next spot. And I don't know why that's right there. Let's move that real quick, just so you know how to move that. Hit power. Then we're gonna go to edit overlay. I'm gonna drag that one out of the way, and then you go make sure you hit save. Still getting everything dialed in on the new boat. Little things like that. Won't take too much longer, but I'll get it squared away, and then I'm gonna have a video out for you showing the new boat off, kind of do a walkthrough, but it's just not quite there yet. So, talk to you soon. All right, we're back in this creek here, doing some idling, trying to see some pre-spawn spots and see where they're gonna be set up. We're gonna go across this here in a second. I'm gonna show you some, but if we go over here, we got 2 stumps right there. Then we got this point where I think they're gonna be setting up an old road bed it shows, so we'll see if that's actually there. But that's a little key little spot to kind of, they'll come from that deeper water, hit up those, work their way back into these pockets to spawn. So when I'm here in February, that's what I'm gonna be kind of keying in on. I wrote cypress tree over there so you can see over on that point, a bunch of cypress trees. That just helps me remember and know what's going on, because it's going to be a while until I get back here. So I want to make sure. Got lots of notes. Here we got a couple more stumps there. You can see this is eelgrass. See how it becomes kind of sporadic and light and airy looking sort of thing. So that I'll always try to mark. I'll put that in there. I write eel just so I know what type of grass it was. I found some hydrilla earlier too in places, so I put a couple marks down with that. You can see it's a big patch of it over there. We're up 2.5 foot of water here, so there's some clean spots then as well. And it I didn't actually really notice the roadbed too much, I don't think. Maybe it was right there. And then we got a nice little drop there, which got a bunch of eelgrass on it too, so that can be really good. I like that. I like how that's set up, so I'm gonna put a mark there. And it's just kind of a lot of that, just working my way through the lake here. We're at Santee, like I said, it's, what is it, mid-November, before Thanksgiving. Water's 63 degrees, and we're gonna keep scouting. All right, we're starting day 2 of practice here. We're on Lake Marion today. I'm staying at the Bells Marina and Resort. It's got a ramp right here, so that's how they're jumping. Look at that, coming up first thing in the morning. But today's another scouting trip. You see no rods on the Puma this morning. We're going out there, gonna just do a bunch of idling again. I'm gonna hopefully be able to show you some more today. I think it's supposed to be a little less windy, so that'll hopefully make it to the point where the wind is not howling and making all sorts of noises as we're trying to show you stuff on the Lowrance unit. So I'll keep you updated, so stay tuned. All right, we're checking out some cypress trees here now. You can see on the active target, we can look at them over there. There's one right there. There's actually a fish out in front of it too. But you got these guys, and what I'm doing is I'm actually paying attention to the depth around these. I'm trying to find if there's any that just kind of stick out, whether they stick out a little bit further or there's a grove of them like that. If they're a little bit deeper, I think those pre-spawns are gonna want to set up on that. So that's kind of what I'm checking out here and looking for. You see there's some egret and there's a blue heron back there too. So a little bit of bait, but the water's down about a foot and a half. You can see like on this tree here, maybe even more, maybe even be closer to 2 foot. So there's going to be some water on these anyway, but I think these little deeper ones, that's going to be something that could be key to hopefully figuring out a little bit better bite. All right, let's show you some more stuff that I'm looking at here. Here's a bunch of wood. Hang on one second, let's clean this up a little bit. That sounds pretty good, I like it. Comes with a nice little cloth too. All right, maybe now you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. All right, now that we're kind of working along here, you still got the shadow of it, the reflection of me. Oh, there's the motor. You see the motor back there? Pretty nice. But I'm back in Marion, like we were talking about earlier. I'm kind of idling, looking for spots that they're gonna move back into these creeks. This one here, they're gonna work their way all the way back into the Grimes Creek. They're gonna want to spawn on this sort of stuff. So they should stage on these little areas, little high percentage spots like that. So I'm gonna try to see where they're gonna stop at. So you can see right now we're in about 9 foot of water. Shows me being a little deeper on the sea map. That's because the water's low. So that's just something you have to kind of take into consideration, especially this week while I'm running around. Don't go running into areas that you don't know, which I don't know any of them because I've never been here before. But you can see here like that, I like that one. That's a real big lay down. I'll mark that. I'll put a tree there, stuff like that. I like when they have that gap where they're standing up a tiny bit. That way you can get underneath them versus see one where it's just kind of flat. There's not something for that fish to really get on quite as tight. Here's some old stumps right there. What else do we got? We got another, that's a good stump. We went right over top of that one. That one stands up pretty tall. I like that. So I'll use a different symbol for that. You can see here that my laydowns are green. My stumps, I use that dark red, maroon color. It just helps me distinguish what I'm looking at. I'll use that everywhere I go. So if it's a brush pile, I'll use a blue one. If it's like a cypress tree, so like if there's a cypress tree that stands out, say like that one there that's kind of by itself, I'll mark that if it had some water on it. Just kind of putting it out there on its own. So you can see now we're getting a little shallow, but there's some other stuff I've been seeing out here too. There's some patches of eelgrass here and there. I don't know if it'll make it through the winter down here or not, but definitely I've marked all that. Even if it's short when I come back in February, it could be one of those spots that those bass kind of flock to, stage on. I like that. Look at that. There's some wood right there. There's a lay down. It's got some branches on it still. I'll mark that one. I like that. It's right on that drop. I don't know how deep these fish are going to go during the winter, or say early pre-spawn. I'm assuming we're going to be there. So I've been keying in, trying to stay in that like 5 to like 12, 13, 14 feet range. I'm assuming that'll probably be about where they are. And then if we get a warm week, maybe they'll slide up. There's also these grist mats up there. You can kind of see that. They're dying off a little bit, but maybe they'll get up underneath some of that. You can do a little bit of punching on it. But this is kind of what I'm keying in on right now. If I find something else good, I want to show you guys an eelgrass patch later. When I come across it, I'll definitely zoom in and show you what that looks like on your side scan. But again, you can just see lots of wood right in this area. Peter. Working my way back this creek. Kind of checking it out. There's a bunch of eelgrass in here. You can see the water's super clear. Something took off there. See that spot? But kind of looking around, just seeing some different things here. It's kind of neat. Got some pads. We got a little bit of that gator grass, some water primrose mixed in. Got the cane. Got a turtle. A lot of wildlife down here. It's starting to warm up today now. See, it's beautiful out. Sunny. Some more big pads. Got them next to like 3 foot of water, so that could be another good spot. There might just be stems there in the spring, but those fish like to stage on that sort of thing. We have some cypress trees. It's a pretty cool lake. I'm really excited to get back here and actually do some fishing right instead of just trolling around and looking right now. But we'll see what happens. Look at these mats. It looks like hyacinth mats, or at least there's some hyacinth mixed in with it right over there. I don't know if this stuff's dying. It looks like it's browning up, so I'm not sure if this will be here when we get back in February, but definitely different. I haven't seen this much of it anywhere. That's good. Something different. You can see there's some hydrilla. There's a little bit of eelgrass down there on the bottom. It's hard to see into the water right now with the glare, but there is a mix of both of them. So between that, the little creek ditch that goes back in here could be a good way they travel back. So we'll kind of keep looking around and see what else we can find. But good to see something different. Gives me some options. November 1st till March 1st. Can't be in there. That one is closed for the tournament, I guess. Not sure if I read that before I went in. We can see that one. It's next to the takeoff. Tall Call Creek. I don't know what this one is. But mistake. Make sure I don't do that one again. Alright, I want to show you one of the plants that are in here. It's called Giant Salvania, I believe is how you pronounce it. Comes as giant mats, but it's a cool looking plant, but it's invasive, so I know they spray this a decent bit trying to get rid of it, but you can see it. It's kind of like feathery, it's squishy. Got the root system, that's where it floats and it hangs and it just piles up with a whole bunch of them. But if you're ever wondering what that was or you ever saw it out in the lake, now you know. All right, I'm making my way across the lake. don't know if you guys can see all those out there or not, but there are stumps everywhere. If you get outside this channel, it gets sketchy quick. I can only imagine what's underneath the surface there too, because it's, like I said, what you can see and what I've seen on Google Earth, that's not even a tenth of them. I think that whole thing's just a giant stump field, so don't want to be cutting across that. That would be bad news. Don't want to do that to the brand new boat. These cypress trees are too cool. Look at them all here. That's just a matter of trying to figure out which ones of those fish are going to live on. Try to do a little due diligence here. Some of them got a little bit of eelgrass around them. Some got a foot of water on them. Some have 2 foot. So I'm hoping if we can distinguish which ones got that little more depth, maybe that's going to help us. But we're going to keep plugging along. Cool place though. Excited to get back here and actually do some fishing on Santee Cooper. Just a couple cormorants in this area. How about that? Look at them all. Just keep going. We're only in 3 foot of water. I can't imagine a little bait here either. Gotta be here for a reason. Alright, so I got the cypress trees out here. We're off them probably 50 yards. Check out the concrete foundation. About a foot underwater. This is why you don't just go running around Santee Cooper like crazy. That thing, you gotta take your lower unit right off. Let's hope there's a fish on it in the spring. Looks like a good little staging spot, right? Alright, I'm idling back in here to Bell's Marina where I stayed this week. Pulling off the water. Gonna start to trek home. Felt like it was a productive 3 days I spent on the water. Really found some stuff that I liked. It's got a lot more eelgrass and hydrilla in it than I ever realized, so that's kind of cool. Figured out some cypress tree stuff that I liked, some deeper ones, shallower ones, some shells around some of them, little shell beds. So that was good. But next I want to show you, let's see how many waypoints we made this week. Is there any guesses? All right, to see the waypoint numbers, you hit that one. Go to storage, waypoints. There you go. That is way too many. That's more than I will ever be able to check, but it's a lot of details, notes, stuff that I'm going to use to not necessarily fish all of them, but it'll eliminate some areas, or maybe I'll start getting bites in, say, 5 foot brush piles. Then I have 100 of them to run already. So that's why that made so many, but we'll see if it helps. Thanks for watching. If you do me a huge favor, please subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See ya. All right, we're starting the final morning of idling here during practice. I took the day off yesterday. I actually went and hung out with Daniel and Ralph and Dave from Z-Man and I Strike. Did a little bit of saltwater fishing. So if you want to see some pictures, I caught what they call the Margarita Slam. Never heard of it until yesterday, but it's a redfish, speckled trout, flounder, what else was it? A striper and a largemouth bass. They're all in the same place. It's pretty wild. We had a ton of fun out there, caught a lot of fish. But back to work canal. You can see the sun's coming up. Out here on Santee Cooper, one last time, we're doing some idling, checking the graphs out. I'm going to show you a couple more things in depth today. Seems like the wind's laying down a tiny bit. It's still kind of annoyingly rough. It kind of reminds me of a night when we get that 2.5 foot chop out here. But keep it going, see what we can find. You see the eagles flying up there. Pretty. I can hear them chirping too. Alright, back to graphing. Trolling around this area, you can see a bunch of pads, which I haven't seen everywhere. Looks like they're kind of starting to die off. Got some of that giant Salvania, some little hyacinth mats. There's some bigger hyacinth mats back in there. You can see. Be interesting to see how many of those stick around, but again, I'm just kind of checking everything out. Here we got some cypress trees that are a little bit shallower, so I don't know if those are going to be as big of a player when we get back here, unless it really warms up for late February this year. But we're kind of just still poking around, seeing what we can find. But I wanted to show you all these pads because I think that could be something with those stems or something like that. Maybe those fish will move in too early. I've seen that down Lake Seminole and a couple other places before. But Pretty day out here. All right, I'm gonna show you some stuff while we're out here again. You can see we got a big tree right there. We got some little stumps there. We got another couple stumps coming up here. A lot of wood in this place. There's some stumps over there. These ones, you can see where it has that long lay down part. Like there's the root base and there's the actual tree laying there. Right there, there's a bigger, I don't know if that's probably just the root balls there. Another big tree over there. Sorry it's hard a little bit to see with the glare, but you can see we're kind of just idling around this point here. And that's what I've been doing, just checking out these points, seeing what I could look at. The map here, that Z map, the shading makes this really easy to kind of see what's going on. The water's down, so it's actually nowhere near as deep as what they're showing here, but it's good info to have. It's been helpful so far, so it really just lets you zoom out and you get to see a lot of things really quick. But that's some of the stuff I'm looking for on my graph. And if you want to see my settings here, you can see I have been running it. This is the 457. I have it on or 455 right now. I'd actually been running on the 1075. I'm not sure. It changed on me for a little bit, but it just depends on how bright you want it to be there. And then you can see my contrast is -6. Color palette, I like color palette 9. That's my go-to. 80 foot out on either side. That's a good distance that you can see a decent area when you're in, say, 15 foot or less, but it also gives you plenty of detail then. I got my 2D. We just went over a little stump right there. You can actually see that there's a piece of the lay down there, so it's actually probably laying over, going horizontally. It looks like there's a little fish on it too. See that right there? Right there, the fish sitting right above it. You can really see it well on your 2D, just comparing it there. But I'm gonna keep riding these little edges here, see if I can find some stuff that has some areas that'll have some pre-spawners sitting on it. So there's another brush pile. Mark that one, and just kind of keep going. So I'll show you a little more. I'll give you a wrap up on the day before I finish up. But see, it's 10:30. I'll probably stay out here until probably 4:30. Then I'm gonna start driving home. About 10 hours, so knock out a chunk of it tonight and then finish it off tomorrow. All right, talk to you later. Bye. All right, I'm out here on Santee Cooper Lakes doing some idling today. I'm going to show you kind of a little bit of everything I'm looking at. Doing kind of just a little, whatever, 7 to 10 minute video, just idling along. I want to show you a bunch of different things, whether it's stumps, brush piles, lay down, what eelgrass looks like. Maybe we'll come across some hydrilla. I don't know what's exactly in this little section, and I just moved. So stay tuned. Look. Gator. See him? Look at him down there. Get him out of my shadow. Sitting down there in the mud. It's cold. Another new thing I'm seeing here on Santee. Look at these big bats. They're giant. Big round ones. It's got a bunch of the mats in there. You can see the hyacinth in further. And then you got that giant salvia, however you say it. Didn't realize they had that here. I knew it was down in Texas and that sort of Louisiana. But yeah, you can see these giant pads here too. So kind of cool. Gonna keep poking around.